Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today I'm going to be making something that sounds a little bit unusual but somehow delicious. We're going to be using the bounty of summer. All the ingredients to me represent summer and is one of the most wonderful things I love about summer. I love the bounty of late summer, the tomatoes, the peaches, the watermelon, all the wonderful things that have been growing all summer that are perfect to eat right this moment. Love, love, love the blueberries, although we're coming into the end of the blueberry season here in New England, but watermelons are fantastic, tomatoes are absolutely incredible, corn, all these things that are just so stinking tasty right now. Today we're going to be making a watermelon caprese sandwich. If you're not familiar with a caprese sandwich, it is a beautiful fresh mozzarella sandwich that typically has a little bit of balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt and pepper, thick slabs of fresh tomato, fresh mozzarella, and basil in between bread. Simple, delectable, perfect summer sandwich. I'm loving the tomato sandwiches right now, or just chopped tomatoes on toast, so stinking with a little bit of garlic. I guess it's like bruschetta, but anyways, it's just so good. But today we're going to be making the caprese, but instead of bread, we're going to be using slabs of watermelon. You might be surprised to hear this because, as some of you may know, I am not a huge fan of watermelon. I know, sacrilegious to say, but in the summer, peak watermelon season, even I will have a few pieces of watermelon. To me, why don't I like it so much? It tastes like cucumber to me, like a sweet cucumber, which is fine. I eat cucumber, but I'm not a huge cucumber fan either, but I will eat it in salads and salted. Sometimes I'll have some, but you know, but I don't say yes, cucumber, although I do juice it in my green juice in the mornings. And watermelons is kind of the same thing. Like if it's perfectly ripe and cold and it's summer, it's great, but I never want to say, oh gosh, I really want to go out and get myself a watermelon. But today we're going to be making a watermelon sandwich. So let's go ahead and get started. So the star of the show is the watermelon. I carried a watermelon. And this watermelon came from a local farm. Support your local farm. Farmers are incredible. This time of year especially, they have so many beautifully, wonderfully cared for things that are just so stinking delicious, including watermelon. I like to get watermelons about this size. It's manageable for a family of my size, and it can fit in the refrigerator. For me, that's always a consideration. Will it fit in the refrigerator? I'm sure there are lots of tips on getting a great watermelon. My dad would always thump them. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be listening for. I err on the side of just how it looks. Does it look beautiful? Is it shiny? Is it heavy for its weight? Is it in season? All of those things are checked off, then that's what I usually go with. So what we're gonna do is cut our watermelon into squares to make it look like bread. Here we go. Do you remember that time I grew a watermelon? Those of you that follow me on Instagram, it was a few years ago. I grew an heirloom variety of melon, just cause, and I loved it because it turned a beautiful orange yellow color, and that's how you would know the melon was ripe. Because whenever I've grown melons, I always pick them prematurely, and then I'm so disappointed because then the fruit's not good. So I got this heirloom variety. It was beautifully orange on the outside. Inside was supposed to look just like a watermelon, bright red. Well then, I proceeded to cut it in an Instagram story, and then it just gooshed out. It was totally far gone. It was rotten, and it just exploded melon juice everywhere. It was absolutely disgusting. It poured into all of my drawers, my countertops. It was so gross. So I don't think, I'm very confident that that's not going to happen here, but I have flashbacks of that incident whenever I cut melon. Alrighty, let's go. Here we go. So sharp knife, grow a couple inches here. Take your knife. Ooh, hear that? I heard it go. Oh, ready? Oh, look at that beautiful melon. This is a seedless variety, so there are seeds, but they're not those big black seeds. I actually picked a seeded melon up from the farm stand because I wanted my children to know what it was like, and they were not impressed. I'm like, isn't it great? You get to spit the seeds. And they're like, no, not impressed. Just give me the regular variety. I shocked. Kids these days. All right, so how is the best way to make this into a square? Do we cut this into a square and then slice it? All right, let's try that. So, ooh, that's beautiful. My chickens love watermelon too. They love the rind portion too, especially in the summer when it's hot. So we save all our rinds and give them to the chickens. Still lots of fruit in there though. Okay, how did we do? Not too bad, not a perfect square, but we can fix that. So now I'm gonna cut this into a couple of slabs. Nice thick slabs. And then we'll trim it up to make it square. Oh, that wasn't square. That's better. All right. Wow, this sounds great. This sounds like a beautiful watermelon. You know when you can hear that the watermelon's gonna be good? All right, let's just give it a taste, because here we go. Itadakimasu. Happy summer. Can't be mealy. It has to be crunchy, juicy, cold, sweet, scrumptious. Coming from a non-watermelon fan too. Can you believe it? Now we're gonna neaten these up, trim off any of these little white edges here, so that our bread is nice and red and square. Bread in air quotes. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Do you remember that time that I cooked a tuna steak made out of watermelon? Check that video out. It's pretty impressive, actually. It's pretty impressive. Okay, 2 beautiful slabs of watermelon. The other elements we'll need for our sandwich are homegrown tomato. Doesn't have to be homegrown, but a summer tomato would be great. And basil. This also happens to be homegrown. I don't know what it is with basil. Okay, basil growers, basil experts, how do you get those big, leafy, beautiful leaves of basil? My basil always looks like this. It's a little bit puny. Maybe it's the variety. Maybe I need to get the big Italian Genovese, like the gigantic leaves. I can never get my basil to get massive. It still smells great. It tastes great, but it's not like, you know? Anyways, I also have some fresh mozzarella cheese. So, knife. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. Next, let's slice our tomato. And I'm gonna go for pretty decent slices here too. Because I feel like you should have a nice slice of tomato, like it should be substantial. Beautiful tomato. And basil, I'm not going to cut up. I'm just going to pick off the stems, and then the cheese I'm going to cut. Some locally made cheese. Support your local businesses. They need you. All right, so mozzarella. There's the cheese, beautiful. And this too, we will slice generously into nice little, maybe 1/3 of an inch. Pieces. But roughly the same thickness as our tomato, you know? Look how beautiful that is. Look, all together. The colors of Italy. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, now it's time to assemble. Bread. Not really bread, but you know, watermelon. Cheese. I found this on a TikTok video, by the way. I mean, I feel like that's sort of the default these days. Next, a layer of tomato. It's tricky to get it into one layer. Tomato. Pick off some beautiful leaves of basil. Okay. Salt. Tomato loves salt, so you gotta salt it generously. Plus that's gonna go so nicely with the sweet watermelon. Pepper's hard to do with one hand, so fresh cracked pepper. Oh man, it's gonna be good. Okay, next, basil. Basil's really strong, so you don't need too much, but oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now we're gonna top it with the last bit of watermelon. Boom. Oh, look, it's so red. Oh, wait, I forgot. We need to add some balsamic vinegar. I believe in the video they use balsamic glaze, which is concentrated balsamic vinegar. I don't have the glaze, so I'm going to use this. For me, the glaze is a little bit, it's more syrupy, so it's easier to apply. You know, it's a little bit thicker, but it's a little sweeter too. And so there are advantages. But I use balsamic vinegar most often to make dressing, and the glaze for me doesn't work as well for dressing, so this is what I have on hand. I think it's gonna be just fine. Okay, now, fudge, we put that. Now we got it. All right, I'm gonna take a couple pictures, we're gonna cut and then taste. Alrighty, lovelies, ready to slice this in half. We should definitely cut this on the diagonal, I think. So, here we go. Sharp knife helps. Here we go. Oh, how do we open this without it all falling apart? There it is. Da-da-da. The watermelon caprese sandwich. Beautiful. I have a bit of a gap there. We can squish that so we don't have a gap. Okay. All right, lovelies, the moment of truth. The watermelon caprese sandwich taste test. It's quite a big sandwich. Beautiful, look at that. Alrighty, lovelies, happy summer. Itadakimasu. Interesting. Second bite was better because I got a big bite of tomato. The first one was pretty watermelon-y with a little bit of the mozzarella. So it was sweet, very juicy, and as you can hear, kind of succulent and crunchy. You have the cheese in there, which gives it an interesting contrasting texture. It's kind of rubbery, bouncy, relatively dry when you compare it to the watermelon. A little bit odd, but I really like the combination of watermelon and tomato together. And then you get the basil in there, which is got a very sharp, strong, insistent flavor, intense flavor. I would add a little bit more of the balsamic vinegar to this, or we call it balsac vinegar in our house, to give it a bigger splash, bigger tang, a nice little more of a contrast with the sweet watermelon, but it's not bad. I think what I'm most surprised about is the combination of watermelon and tomato together. I think that goes really well together. It's good, but I think it would be better as a salad. If the watermelon was cut into cubes, everything was cut into cubes, then tossed with a vinaigrette made with, oh, I forgot olive oil. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar. Actually, I don't think the recipe had any olive oil in it. But yeah, I think this would make a great salad. Make it last minute so that everything stays crisp and fresh and succulent. I think it'd be good. Like this, it's too messy and it's too big of a bite. Like, I can't do it. The watermelon adds an interesting texture, let's say that, and sweetness. Is it better than the traditional version with crispy, crunchy bread? It isn't, in my opinion, but it's pretty good. I think just in a different form, like a little chopped salad form. Perfect for a little cookout. Gotta keep it cold though. Oh man. I just had a piece of basil with watermelon. That's really good. All right, my lovelies, I tried it so you didn't have to, but these are all little tastes of summer. If you have these ingredients on hand, why not give it a little taste, just as a little combination to see if you like it. All right, my lovelies, I hope you're having a great summer. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media, like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo, take care, bye. Why is my sink being possessed and dripping? Like that. You probably didn't even hear it, right? I heard it.